Comparison is a dangerous game. Let's take running, for example. I'm a long-time runner who has raced in a bunch of exciting races. So it's an easy metaphor for me to work with. I've run 5Ks, 10Ks, a duathlon, a triathlon, lots of half marathons, 3 full marathons, and 1 50K ultramarathon. I've run on city streets and mountain trails. I've raced in whiteout snow, pouring rain, and blazing hot sun. I've run for decades. And there's always tons of people better than me. Just when I think I've broken through with a personal record or my longest run ever, I meet someone who's nearly twice as fast or who has run more than twice as far. Comparison for me when it comes to running is a dangerous game. If I ran to be better than others, I'd be forever a disappointment. If I ran to meet some ideal standard of the perfect runner, I'd be forever a disappointment. If I ran in comparison shoes, running would bring me shame, guilt, and a deep sense of regret. To run through life wearing shoes made of comparison is to set yourself up and everyone else you encounter as a forever loser. But I love running. Running brings me joy and health and community and pride. Running fills my lungs and my soul and my spirit. Running brings me no shame, no guilt, no regret. Objectively, I'm a loser when it comes to running. I don't win races. I run at the speed of an average runner. I'm what we call a middle of the packer. I'm unexceptional. I'm ordinary. I'm not set apart or chosen when it comes to running. And yet, joy. And yet, fun. And yet, fulfillment. And yet, I love it. Lately, I've had a few really striking encounters with deep institutional church culture. And I've walked away feeling not good enough. I've walked away receiving crystal clear messages from the institutional church that I'm never quite good enough. I'm pretty sure these messages weren't personally tailored to me. I'm pretty sure the message of you're never quite good enough is just a default setting that is, I don't know, normal in this particular version of institutional church. And they're kind of used to sharing it with everybody in their orbit. These encounters have reminded me that so many people have been brought up with a religious experience based on comparison. They've been taught that God is judging them against some perfect ideal. They've been taught that living a faithful life is about excellence at all costs, winning the race of life, feeling guilty and ashamed about your distance and time. And because they have that way of understanding God buried deeply in the scars of their hearts, they get no joy from running the race of life. They are persistently disappointed and frustrated and guilty and ashamed. Let me offer that I actually think ancient faith leaders like Jesus would be middle of the packers like me, perfectly happy and fulfilled, running the race they're built to run, not comparing themselves to the speedsters up front or the folks finishing last. I'd like to offer 5 passages that might encourage you and I both to realize we don't have to compare ourselves to others or to some ideal, perfect life in order to be loved and to be at peace. These passages and quotations aren't meant to prove anything to anyone, simply to encourage us to consider if comparison is the best way to approach faith and to approach each other. All right, first, from Jesus himself. In Luke 18, he tells a story about 2 men who go to the temple to pray. One is proud of his righteousness and brags about his good deeds. He says, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and I give 1/10 of all I get. The other guy, a tax collector, can barely look up. All he says is, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Jesus says it's the second guy, the humble one, who walks away justified. Not the one with the religious resume, not the one with the podium finish, just the one who showed up honestly. Second, from Hebrews 12. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Well, that passage is pretty spot on. It encourages us not to try to run the race marked out for our neighbor or our pastor or our Instagram feed. No, run your race. You run your race, I'll run mine. The race we've each been uniquely sent here to run. Run your pace, finish when you finish, do your best. That's what faithfulness looks like. Not speed, not flash, not perfection, just perseverance. Okay. Third, Jesus again in Matthew 20, he tells another story. This one is about workers in a vineyard. Some start early in the morning, some in the afternoon. And some, they don't show up until just before quitting time. And at the end of the day, they all get paid the same amount. Unsurprisingly, the early risers grumble. But the landowner who's paying them says, "Are you envious because I am generous?" In God's economy, grace is not performance-based. It is abundant and plentiful. The first and the last, the fast and the slow, the early and the late, they all get the same love. All right, fourth, Henri Nouwen writes this. You are not what you do. You are not what you have. You are not what people say about you. You are the beloved of God. Realizing the truth of that quote can transform lives. When I forget that I'm already beloved, when I run for approval instead of joy, I get exhausted. But when I remember this truth, even my slowest mile is sacred. And fifth, Teresa of Avila. She once wrote this: God does not ask us the perfection of our actions, but the perfection of our love. Isn't that beautiful? It's not a call to win, not a call to perform. It's a call to love, to show up in the middle of the pack and pour your heart out for the people running beside you. To all the institutional religious folks who wear comparison shoes, you might be right. Maybe I am supposed to be comparing myself to some ideal perfection. Or maybe I am supposed to be scoffing at those I pass by, and I am supposed to be deriding myself for not being good enough to keep up with those up front. But let me invite you out to a local running race sometime soon. And let's stand together as the middle of the pack and the back of the pack runners cross the finish line of their first race, full of joy. Let's watch their family members cheer them on with signs and hugs at the end. Let's watch people pour themselves out fully and support their fellow racers as they pour their hearts out all over the concrete and the trails. Let's watch the tears of joy. Let's see the beaming smiles. Let's wrap every finisher in one of those shiny Mylar blankets. Give them a Gatorade and a banana. I think you'll see running has a lot of the same lessons to teach that Jesus was trying to convey. Comparison is a dangerous game. Run your own race with perseverance and know that you are enough. Know that you are beloved. Here's a short blessing. Loving God who runs alongside us, who quenches our thirst with living waters, who fuels us with unconditional love. We run today's race with humility and gratitude. We cheer on those who sprint past us and those who are struggling to make it to the finish. We know that in the marathon of life, there are no winners or losers. There are only the beloved. Amen. Hey, Between is about you. Take this message out into your life this week and fill the space between you and every person you encounter with your sacred light. My favorite church is the space between people. Now go with God's love and create the church between.